Now move on to Cassie Ventura. She was P. Diddy's love interest for over a decade. They started dating from 2007 to 2018. At first, it was supposed to be a business relationship. Cassie was only 19 when she met P. Diddy, who was 37, almost 40 years. And she was interested in having him mentor her, guide her to have her first album. So she signed with the Bad Boy Records. But soon Diddy used his charm and his influence and money to persuade Cassie to leave her boyfriend at the time and to become romantically involved with him, which makes it a very unprofessional situation. But Diddy never kept his promise of helping Cassie become the true star, in her career as she intended, as she wanted. Instead, Diddy monitored and controlled all the gigs that she could accept. He went behind her back and made sure that she didn't get any offers that were more than 10K or 15K so that she could remain financially dependent on him. And he kept telling her, don't worry, a better one will come. Until then, I can take care of you. And when something big did come, and Cassie jumps at the opportunity, let me take this. I'm new, it will give me confidence when better ones come. Diddy convinced her to ask for as high as 100K and say, you're bigger than that, ask them to pay you that, knowing fully well that those agents or the companies that they represent will not be willing to pay that kind of high amount to someone who is a relatively new artist. So that was how Diddy manipulated her, just like he did with so many others. She was a kid, how would she know that her supposedly mentor was playing dirty tricks? At that time, she didn't know. But by the time she knew, it was almost too late. Because Diddy had already started giving her drugs, ecstasy, telling her to make her comfortable and all that. He was already using her for his freakoffs, sex works, and all that, videoing it, threesomes, all sort of horrible stuff that I don't want to go into here, you know. Roger Bonds was kind of close. Roger Bond, remember, is the security bodyguard for P. Diddy from 2003, 2002 or so to 2012. And in his Vlad TV interview, he exposed everything. He did not keep anything back. He said that he witnessed so many fights between Cassie and Diddy, and he claimed that even one time, Cassie was so angry, she started fighting back. They were in public. She was able to hurt P. Diddy. She injured him. It was him, Roger, who came between them and stopped the car and held P. Diddy off from strangling her. He calmed her like, hold off. Do you know where you are? Do you know who you are? Take a hold of yourself. And he had P. Diddy tight until P. Diddy calmed down and he told Cassie to go find a safe place. So those were horrible times. P. Diddy even made Cassie shave the side of her hair one time because he saw it on somebody and he said, I like that and I want you to have that look. That was how controlling it was. Of course, Cassie did it the next day. P. Diddy had a horrible temper, as we all know and you have seen in some videos that have gone viral. And he was overly jealous and possessive, even in public. He could not hide it. He had his eyes on his trophies. They weren't allowed to speak for too long, especially with men. And then one time a guy approached Cassie at a nightclub. P. Diddy got him wounded, and to avoid being sued, he reportedly gave the guy what he asked for, which was $30,000, as a settlement so that he would not press charges. It was terrible. And then there was the case of rapper Kid Cudi. Everyone is talking about that incident where P. Diddy blew up the rapper's car, because he had looked into Cassie's phone and saw that phone number and he dialed it, and it was Kid Cudi. He had seen their text messages and knew that something was going on romantically between Cassie and Kid Cudi, another rapper, that they were working on an album together. And P. Diddy found this out, and he called that number, like I said, and he went out of his mind. He threatened to blow up Cudi's car. And not long after that, that incident actually happened. It says that Cudi's car was actually blown up in front of his house. Luckily, he wasn't in his car. You know, the security chief said that incident was done with a Molotov cocktail, and that was how they almost killed Kid Cudi. And of course, he took off. It was like, I'm not having anything to do with Cassie anymore. Luckily, Cassie recovered from all the trauma through the help of her family, who convinced her in 2022 to file for a lawsuit. And she accused Diddy of, sexual harassment, abuse, rapes, and forcing her to do drugs and a lot of bunch of other things. And she got her case settled out of court for, we don't know exactly how much, but Cassie was asking for $30 million and $30 million, and 24 hours later, that case was settled out of court.